What's going on, you guys? So today it's gonna be a short video about this new app called CLOBr. You might have heard about it because it's going viral right now on Twitter with a lot of size traders, a lot of streamers, YouTubers, just everybody implementing this as a part of their trading strategy. Whales have been using these kind of tools for years, but finally CLOBr came out, made it accessible and way more simplified for retail traders. And you might have seen people like Sharo, people like Crypto King, constantly using it to check their coins. Essentially, what CLOBr does is it allows you to see liquidity flow on chain. You can see things like Meteora DLLM pools, you can see things like DCA orders, limit orders on DEXs, on centralized exchanges. You can basically see where the support is for the coin and where the resistance is. It helps you find better entries, better exits, and it helps you not being stuck. For example, there might be huge resistance above your price and you're just holding, hoping that the coin will go up. But there's so much resistance that virtually the chances are very small, so it's better to sell right now, wait for the liquidity, wait for the price to go down back to the support, and then buy back in again to try to break this resistance, or maybe the resistance is gonna get removed. All of that we're gonna get in detail in this video. So why is CLOBr even going viral? Well, this man right here, the White Whale, is a big fan, and there is a reason why his name is the White Whale, because he is one of the biggest whales on chain, one of the best traders. His portfolio is tens and tens of millions of dollars. He has exposed centralized exchange called Maxi for stealing money from people, blocking their accounts. So he's one of the main characters of the cycle. He has made his own coin that went to $200 million all-time high. Right now it's at 50 mil, still pretty high. But he did all of that because he understands how liquidity works. He's a big fan of liquidity, and he's been shilling this app, and ever since he's done that, people started noticing and using it. But as much as it's simplified and accessible, it is still a very complex topic. You can't just get on this platform and instantly understand what's going on. It needs some explanation, and people are begging for it. That's why we're here today. I'll explain exactly how everything works on this platform and how you can utilize this in your strategy to make money, or at least not lose money. Let's start with the first tab. This is the most important tab where you're gonna spend most of your time. It's called top tokens. So you can see here they go from rank 1 and they just keep going down. But you can use the search bar right here and search for any token on chain and see the liquidity for it. So the rank is based on CLOBr score. CLOBr score just analyzes how much resistance a coin has compared to how much support it has, and then gives you a score if the chances are higher that the coin will go up because there's less resistance, or that the coin is going to go down because there's more resistance and less support, basically. Right now, as we may see, the number 1 coin is ARK. Also worth mentioning that 75 CLOBr score is not actually that good. It just means there's somewhat more support, but it doesn't, it's not a really strong signal. I would consider a strong signal of being like 85 plus, 85, 90 to 100. Really strong signals that there's a lot of support and the coin is really gonna shoot up. But anyways, let's take a look at ARK. This is actually one of the coins that CLOBr has helped me make money on, funny enough. And it has a high CLOBr score. And let's take a look why. So first thing, when you open a chart, you will see these orange bars and these gray bars right here. So they represent resistance, the orange ones, and support, the gray ones. Support means there's some kind of buy pressure that's gonna help keep up the price. Right now, these bars are really small because there's one very big bar that's making these ones look very small. Let's take a look. What kind of bar is this? It looks very interesting. That's a big support. You can see the price on the right. It's at 0.035 basically. If I click on this bar, we're gonna select this specific bar. As you may see, we have filtered it. And let's look what it represents. So first thing you see is exchange type, where this support is coming from. It's coming from a DEX or it's coming from a centralized exchange. So we see that this actually comes from a DEX, $1.7 million of support on a DEX. And then we can go lower and see by source. So that means which DEX exactly is this coming from? And we can see Jupiter limit order. So there's actually a $1.7 million Jupiter limit order to buy ARK at this price. That means that if the price was to go down, in order to break this right here, somebody would have to sell $1.7 million. If they don't have that money, they cannot break the support and the price is gonna stay here and then potentially bounce up if there's some good news or there's a reason for this coin to bounce up. Very interesting. But then also, when I just opened the chart, I saw this huge orange one. And also up here, you can kind of see the size of the bars. So for example, you see it says 1.7 million here. We can just see that this bar represents 1.7 million. But if I scroll higher, now the biggest bar on screen is 6.6 million. So this gray one became kind of small because this one is dwarfing it. So if we click here, we can see that on Gate.io, centralized exchange, there's $6.5 million sell order right now at this price. So once the price starts going up, if it touches right here, somebody is going to start dropping a $6 million bomb on your head. So if you want to trade this coin, you want to catch some movement, what you could do, and that's what I did. Okay, we got to turn off the filter. You want to enter the trade somewhere near this limit order right here because there's support. So the price didn't quite reach down there yet, so this is not a good entry yet. That's why the score is only 75, because it means that the price can continue going down a little bit. So if it's 0.038, which means 38 million, the support is at 0.035, so the price can go down another 3 mil to 35 mil until there's a reversal. You could enter right here, and then you could exit before this whole $6 million sell is touched. So you can exit here, you can exit here, you can exit here, but you know with your strategy that you will never break past this point. Or maybe the guy's gonna remove his sell order, you never know. Because these things, they appear and they disappear. It doesn't 100% mean that it's there forever and nothing can happen to it. But you know that there's support here and there's resistance here. Very helpful. I have one of my best trades, or my first trade on this platform and my only trade that I've done, because I've been using this for only a couple of days and I'm only learning and I'm trying to study the patterns. But this was my small size trade just to see how this works, and it was on ARK. So there was a $1 million buy order before. This has already been a couple of days. So what happened here is, as you can see on this screenshot of mine, you see this, there was a little crash right here. So that's the crash right here. So right after the crash, somebody set up a limit order for $1.1 million. We can see right here. And I had a perpetuals 20x leverage order to buy at a price of 0.0318. But the limit order was at 0.03 flat. So I was a little bit above right before it touched his limit order. I got filled, and then I sold pretty soon. Just this whole trade took me about 2 hours to do. I could have held longer, because after that, the coin actually went. So he has removed, first of all, he has removed the limit order after that. I caught the trade, like I bought it right here and I sold it up here. I made 2x. Then he removed the limit order. The price crashed down to 0.26 mil. And then there was an order again. I came on the platform, it was lower. It was $1 million right here again. But I was like, okay, I'm not gonna play these games again. I made some money, I'm just gonna ignore it. But on that time, it actually bounced off his limit order and it went from 26 million to 58 million. With leverage, for example, if I would have 20x leverage, I would have made like $4,000 or $5,000 with $500. So that's one of the examples of how you can make money using CLOBr. We can look at other coins right now. Let's take a look at Testicle. So here, you can actually see the better size of all these bars because there's not one huge one that makes everything else look small. Let's take a look what's going on here. We can make it smaller. This is hard to tell. This is better. So we can see that there's quite a bit more support in this zone right here. We can make the chart. Let's, for example, go back a little bit. If we look at it historically, we could tell that there's some kind of support here and here because the price has bounced off here once, bounced off of here twice, and now it's coming back down here. And why is there support? Because there's all this liquidity right here. These are DLLM pools. So it's quite a complicated topic, but the way it works is people can add liquidity at a certain price of a coin. Let's say the current price of a coin is $150. The price is right here. People can create support by opening DLLM pools with the coin between the price of 150 and 130. Let's say there's 4 people and they say, we want to trade this token. We want to trade $10,000 worth of capital at this range. Basically, they create resistance for the price. Let's say the price starts going down now. It has to absorb these people here that have opened these pools at these prices. Essentially, it kind of is like limit orders, but this is double-sided. They have $5,000 in stable coins or Solana, and they have $5,000 in the coin. When the price is between these two prices, as it goes up and down, they basically, if the price continues going down, for every sell, they exchange stable coins and they receive the meme coin. When the price goes back up, they sell the meme coin and they get back stable coins. So they create friction. In order to break through from 150 to 130, you have to eat through all the resistance they have created. This is LP farming. It is also kind of complex for another video, but what you need to understand is they create resistance for the price, for it to be harder to push down the price. But if we look up, the price from 150 to 170, there's only one guy and he only wants to trade $1,000 worth of capital in this range. That means to push the price to 170, you only need to absorb whatever pool he has opened. So here we can see that there's a big pillow here. This is not limit orders, but DLLM pools. They create resistance. It's harder to push the price below here. So because it's harder to push below, it's easier to bounce up because traders will get more confidence. They'll start buying it up and the price will reverse. But up here, we can also see something interesting. There's a big orange bar at this price, 0.063, which is about 6.3 million. You sadly cannot choose market cap here like you do on trading platforms. You can only see the actual price of the coin, so you'll have to learn to read the price and how it reflects on the market cap. But let's take a look. So we click on this bar, we have filtered it. We see that there's centralized exchange order for $40,000. So currently, somebody, let's see, MEXC. So on the MEXC, somebody has opened a limit order to sell $40,000 worth of testicle at this price. So if you were to enter around here, which is a good entry because there's a huge pillow of liquidity farmers that give you the pillow, once the price jumps back up, you kind of want to exit before the price goes back up here because it's going to be really hard to break. You will need $40,000 worth of buying pressure to push the price higher. So that's kind of what top tokens are. This is how you read the chart. Another thing you can do down here is you can see the markets. You can see DCA orders. So if somebody opens a Jupiter DCA order that like buys a coin every 5 minutes, it would show up here. Right now, there's nothing for this coin. Then you can see limit orders. If we click here, so we have a buy limit order of $3,000. A person is swapping USDC into testicle at a price of 0.0026. So somewhere right here, you see right where the support is. Somebody has a $3,000 actual limit order to buy this coin, $3,000 worth of it. So you could potentially front run him. So you, for example, you could set your limit order to be 0.0026266. And then you're gonna buy. If the price goes back down lower, he's gonna buy as well and push the price higher. So you can kind of front run his limit order. All because CLOBr shows everything that happens on chain, all the liquidity moves that happen on chain. Then you can see the DLLM pools that are currently open. So the biggest pool here that we can see has $188,000 worth of liquidity in it. Let's see, you can see how much fees they make, but this is also quite advanced. You need to know how to LP farm to understand all of this. But we can take a look at the mix. The mix just means the mix of stable coins to the meme coin in this pool. So there's $160,000 worth of Solana in this pool right now, and there's only $27,000 worth of meme coin. That means that they're ready to create $160,000 worth of resistance, but once it's, my bad, not resistance, support. The gray is support. And then $30,000 worth of resistance once the price goes up. So we can see that there's way more support than resistance. Then you can see how much fees they made, volume within this pool. You can see basically this chart, but horizontal. You can see other available pools. So there's one for $30,000, $19,000. Differences, bin steps. So bins are basically the price range at which these traders put their money in. So as I said here, you see we have different amounts and different price range. For example, there's this price range, there's this price range. So the biggest pool has 100 steps, which basically means 2x. Every step is 1% price increase or decrease. So they have somewhere between here, 50% up or 50% down, and then in the middle, that's 100 steps. So if you want to register here, I would very much recommend using my referral code because I have a really good deal and you get a huge, huge discount for your first month. So the way you would register is, let me open this right here. You go on CLOBr.io, or you can use the link down in the description. You click login. You can register with your email, or you could log in with Google or X. Personally, I log in with X. That's the easiest one for me. So let me show you how it's done. You click login with X. Authorize app. You're now logged in. You see all these tabs up here. You can click my account and you can see the prices. You can have a monthly, quarterly, so every 3 months, or you can have an annual. You can pay for the whole year ahead. So let's say you didn't use the link and you just logged in, you'll see this normal price. But if you look down, you can see referral program. So you can use my code, or you can also see it down in the description. It's right here, this one. If you paste it into right here and you click save, you'll have to wait about 15-20 seconds. So let's wait. I'll skip this part. Now after you've waited about 20 seconds, you refresh the page and there we go. It has been applied. You get 35% off for your first payment. So you can get 35% off for your first month. You can get 35% off for first 3 months or 35% off for a full year. So with my referral code, you get one of the best deals on the website. So I very much advise you to use it. What else does CLOBr have? You can have a watch list. So this is pretty self-explanatory. You can put stars on coins and they're gonna show up there. Let's say I want to keep an eye on ARK. You can make watch lists. So you can have different ones. I have this one called main. So if I had ARK in here, now we click watch list. I have ARK, I have HODL, and I can see the CLOBr score. The next thing you have is DCA pressure. This is also a pretty interesting one. This shows every single open DCA order on chain right now. So there's 2 options that you have. You have impact percent and absolute dollars. So impact percent tells you how much this DCA order will impact the price in a certain time frame. When somebody opens a DCA order, it can be that, for example, he buys $100 every minute, or he buys $100 every hour, or he buys $100 every day. So there's a lot of different options that could be. So right now there's a coin called Dexter AI that has a limit order open that's gonna move the price by 0.5% in 5 minutes, 0.8 in 30 minutes, and basically in 24 hours it would, if nobody else would buy or sell the coin, it would push up the price by 4%. If we click on this arrow here, we can see what kind of order is going on. So there's one that's 95% complete, so it has been opened 18 hours ago. Remaining amount of money that he's supposed to buy is $500. It happens every 1 hour. So he's buying $500 per hour. That was the order. It's about to execute in 1 minute exactly, because we can see time left, 1 minute. In 1 minute, it's gonna buy, and this order is gonna be done and gonna disappear. But there's another one down here. There's still $4,000 worth of dollars that he's gonna buy. It's 59% complete. Every 10 minutes, he's buying $100. How do I know that? Because it says 10 minutes, every 10 minutes, and then per minute, $10. So all I do is 10 times 10 equals 100. We can see in 30 minutes, it's going to be $300. In 1 hour, it's going to be $600 because 60 minutes. And in 24 hours, it's going to be $4,000. There's about 6 hours, 45 minutes left. Then there's one for meme coin. That is interesting as well. I have seen this going on for quite a while now. And if we look at a coin called meme coin, it has actually slowly mooned without people even noticing. But I've personally have seen the limit orders being opened ever since $1 million. But I've kind of ignored it because I didn't know if it's real motion or if somebody's just trying to fuck with me, so to say. But it was real motion, and once again, somebody's buying $1.3 thousand. Then you can see the red ones, for example, sell pressure. There's right now on a coin called Lamau. It's gonna, these DCA orders are gonna push down the price by 1.5% in the next 24 hours. Here you can see every single order. There's a lot of small ones. This one has $100 remaining. This one has 1.8K. And then you can just basically make your research. So the other option you have is absolute dollars, which shows you, this shows you basically the one on top is going to be the one that moves the price the most, and on the bottom, the one that moves the price down the most. Absolute dollars is just actual amount of money that people are buying. For example, Avicii is on top now because in 24 hours, this DCA order is going to buy $23,000 worth of this coin. Even though this coin is right now at like 50 mil, I guess. I haven't seen the chart, but it's one of the biggest coins. Then we have one on Cloud that is gonna buy $8,000 worth within 24 hours. It's in the next 1 hour, it's gonna buy $300, $2,000 and so on. So you can see absolute dollars or price percent impact. You can see your own pools if you're an LP farmer, but this is for another time. And you have Learn tab, so you can actually, if this video wasn't enough for you, if you need more help, you can check this Learn tab and it's really gonna help you out. What else was I gonna show you? Oh, why this actually went very viral in the first place. There was this very funny situation where Whitewhale has posted, while you were chasing massive pump, little do you know there's an almost $1 million sell wall sitting at 12.5 million. It didn't say what coin it was, but people have found out, I have found out. So we can see that the price is going up very aggressively here. Not a lot of resistance. But up here, we have this huge bar. And if we look up here, we can see that this bar represents about $800,000 worth of resistance. And it was at 12.5 million. It was moving between 10 to 16 mil. And what coin was it? It was actually Gork. So when Elon Musk said that Gork is coming back a couple of days ago, you can see that the price really shot up and it was going up and up and up. But if we come closer, this is the top here. What was the top? We can see this wicks that go a little bit higher, but overall we can say that was right around 12.5 million. If, you know, the price tried to break out to 14 mil, but it got suppressed. these are 5-minute candles. So these two candles represent 10 minutes of time. 12.5 mil, then it got rejected because there was this whole limit order selling on people's heads. It got rejected to 6 mil. People really wanted to run it back up, but it never got the steam power to just go back up because too much money was already extracted. And yeah, it's funny that 12.5 mil is the top. And if we go back to the screenshot, we can see that this is 12 mil. So right around 12.5 mil was this huge limit order of almost $1 million. All the people that had CLOBr, they already knew down here that I should sell before here, or I should sell right around here. I shouldn't wait. But people that didn't use CLOBr held it, got farmed up here, and then the coin got rejected and just went down. So another very crazy use case for CLOBr. Anyways, if you found this interesting, leave a comment, tell me all the questions you have. I'm gonna probably make a follow-up video answering more questions about this. And yeah, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.